I have a story I'd like to tell you. Some time ago, I took a class called At Home in Your Body. It was about being peaceful and content with who you were physically. One day in that class, the instructor asked me a question. She said, Karen, if you could change anything about how the world interacts with you, meaning you as a large woman, what would you change? And I blurted out my answer. I told her that I wished that somebody would make ski and snowmobile clothes for sports like that would fit someone like me, because I couldn't seem to find them, and that was so frustrating to me. And I remember the feelings I had when she responded. I might not remember the exact words, but the gist of it is she said, Karen, she waves her finger at me, Karen, you don't get it. People your size generally don't choose to participate in those activities. So there isn't really much of a market for those clothes. I've thought about that a lot since. Why don't we participate in certain activities? When we get a little larger or older or more out of shape, why do we think we can't do the things we want to? Should those sports be something we want to participate in? And the other question I ask is, why did I still continue to participate in them? Why did I somehow think that was okay? So I have some questions for you. I don't want to hold myself up as a perfect example. There's obviously weight I would like to let go of. I would obviously like to be in better physical shape. I'd like to enjoy things that I don't now enjoy. But let's look at this example for just a minute. Why did I dare do that? What can we learn from this? You know, I've been snowmobiling probably since, age 10 or 11. And we won't go into how many years that has been. I like to swim. I know it's not a great visual to think of me in a swimsuit, but it is such a joyful, wonderful feeling. When I was in college, I came home for the summer, and the man who ran the local rec center said to me, you know, if you were a lifeguard, I could hire you each summer. So I went back to college and became a lifeguard. Now, taking lifeguarding as a college class was a hard way to do it. And I remember one day I was assigned a man to, you hold around under their arms and you pull them across the pool in a life-saving rescue training. And in doing that, this man played semi-pro and later played pro football. His name is Louis Giamona. And I still remember Louis just had massive thighs. He was very, very fit. And when someone's really lean and in good shape like that, they are really, really hard to drag across the pool. And as I tried to swim holding on to him, his legs would fall down and crash into mine, and it was so hard. And I remember the victory feeling when I could drag him across the pool and do my certification. And for me, swimming feels like that. It feels joyful and wonderful. But I wonder why so many of us don't participate. Yeah, it is awkward. Yeah, it's hard to find equipment to fit. It's a little embarrassing to show up in a swimsuit, but it feels so great. And why was I able to bridge that barrier? I like to sail. I've sailed on lots of beautiful tall ships. One that was used in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I sailed on that ship, the one that was the Interceptor in that first movie. It's an actual ship out of the Northwest, and I haven't climbed on that ship, but I've climbed on other ships where you climb up rope lines, rope ladders to get up and work on the sails. It's terrifying, it's scary, but when I sailed on a boat in Europe, I was able to do that. Okay, where did I get the courage to do that? How can I recreate that in myself? How can you recreate that feeling of being gutsy enough to do some activities you'd really like to do and not wait until you're skinny, but get out and live right now? I love to snow ski. I live in Utah. The skiing is beautiful. But one of the greatest days ever was when I was dating a man who was really slender and fit, and we went skiing, and I just totally out-skied him. I'm not that competitive usually, but that day was great. I went kayaking one time. We were in sea kayaks, and I was totally outclassed by the athletes that I was with. I mean, they were in so much better shape. And then it occurred to me that they'd just come back. She'd just come back from trekking in Europe. I mean, she was an amazing athlete. And I used to really get out and do things like that, even despite my size. So how can I recapture that, and how can you capture that? How can you get out and do what you would like to do physically and enjoy this big, beautiful world? Now, I keep using the word out because for me, if I do some activity inside, if it's inside, it generally feels like work. If it's outside, it generally feels a lot more like play. So if I'm going to sit inside and ride the exercise bike, I need to be near a window or have a great DVD playing or great music. So for me, the word out really is one of those words that make a difference. Exercise outside is better for me. So my challenge from this video, the things that I want to have you identify, I'd love to help you identify this, is how to make exercise something other than a four-letter word. Not something that just makes you feel tired and lots of effort and lots of energy, and it doesn't sound fun at all. One of my friends used to say, I'm going on an energizing walk. And for her, she drew such energy from being out in nature that she'd go for a walk even in the city streets near where she lived. But could you find an exercise? Could you find some activity that would be pleasant, friend to visit with while you walked, something that you'd like to do, something that you'd like to experience, and that it helped you be more active and therefore a little bit more healthy? So that's my assignment to you, or my encouragement to you, is choose something you'd like to do. If there's a beautiful place out in nature you would like to walk, or if there's a video you want to watch inside, a DVD that you can put on and climb on that exercise bike, or do more active things. That's my challenge, to be at home in your body and be willing to move and go and do and be active, and not wait until you're slender. Not wait until your body looks just like you'd like it to be, but to be at home in your body.